Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Jim with Less Lethal California, coming to you obviously from the state of California and from our training center in Manteca. I've got some really interesting news to share with you, but before I do that, Austin, come over here a second. How you doing, Austin?
Great. How you
Hey,
doing, Jim?
you have a CCW, don't you?
Yes, I do.
How long have you had your CCW?
About a year now.
Really, what can you do with the CCW? Like, where can you go? Where can you not go? Tell me.
I don't know. I mean, what can I
Well,
do?
right now, what can you do with it?
Right now, I mean, I can just protect myself when I'm out and about.
Yeah, like you go out to eat.
Yeah,
you
go out to eat,
to
yeah.
the fair. You
Yeah.
go to a restaurant.
Yeah, I know
Go
I-
to the movies.
I know I can't go to a bar. I know if it's some state or federal buildings, I can't take it into.
Right, maybe
but-
a bank probably is not a good idea,
No.
just because. I mean, you could take it, but you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
But right, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, I've got some great news for you.
What's that?
I've got exciting news for everybody. Governor Newsom just signed a bill, and this is what's going to happen if you have a CCW. Austin, listen to this. All public buildings and permitted public events, you will not be allowed to take your CCW. Guess what else? All areas under control of an airport, which are airports I get. It makes sense not to have it, so that's not a big deal. Public transportation and certain private transportation. So basically what that means is if you're on a protection detail or you're just in a taxi with your wife or you rent a vehicle, you can't have your weapon with you. Isn't that exciting?
Well, you mean that if I'm out with my family, that I'm being reduced of how I can protect my family?
100% if you have your CCW. And guess what else you can't do with your CCW? You can't go to a bar or a restaurant.
Whoa. I knew about the bar because that makes sense, alcohol and the firearm. But you're saying that if I want to take my kids or family out to a restaurant
And you have a valid CCW
and have
in
a
California,
valid legal
can't
gun
do it.
owner.
Can't do it. Can't take it. Check this out. Now, daycares I respect because of children. I understand that. But that also means for a lot of our friends who do protection details with children and they've got armed officers there, armed plainclothes agents, guess what? They can't have it.
Wow.
Now, next, let me tell you what else is really exciting about this. Playgrounds and parks. That's right. So if you take your kid to the playground or park and you have a valid CCW from the state of California, no bueno. You know what no bueno means, right, Austin?
No good.
Yeah, it means you can't do it. Nope. So you better pick up a rock or a stick and keep that in your pocket until they make that illegal. I don't know. They might gauge it. Guess what else? So state parks and land under control of Department of Fish and Wildlife. So I guess I get that, but you know, when you're hiking and things and you just want to have protection because of all the weirdos that are out there that could be, you know, at campsites and things that aren't supposed to be there, again, stick in a rock. Sounds good?
I'm lost for words.
All right, well, then that must mean you like to stick in a rock. And then gaming establishments. Well, I would never take my gun into a casino, so I get that. I respect that one. But check this out. Stadiums, okay, yeah, maybe not. Libraries, whoa, that's where you can't have a weapon ever, and you cannot have a CCW. Amusement parks, okay, I understand that, and museums. Now, the next one, this is really fun. Churches and places of worship. So that means that if you have a CCW, you cannot have your firearm on you in a church or a place of worship. And places of worship can be anywhere these days. Like you could be at the park in a place of worship. It doesn't really matter. But according to the new laws, that's what it says. Banks and parking lots. So not only can you not walk up to an ATM at a bank with your CCW, you can't take your gun to a bank, period. Not even on the outside. And this is my most favorite one. This is all private commercial property without specific permission from the property owner. What do you think that means, Austin?
How am I supposed to protect my family?
Well, not only your family, but you. But that means literally if you walk across someone's private property with your CCW, you are in violation of your CCW and can have it revoked.
So Jim, I have a question for you. So
if
I'm in church with my family and
Yep.
something were to happen,
Yep.
and I can't legally carry CCW anymore,
Right.
how am I supposed to protect myself and my family? Is there another option?
A rock and a stick or the Byrna. And listen, we're going to talk a lot more about this next week, but the Byrna is going to be your number one choice in California. We saw this coming. The writing is on the wall, because a Byrna you can carry in all public buildings and permitted public events. You can carry a Byrna in all areas where public transportation or private transportation, bars and restaurants, you can carry a Byrna. Daycares and childcare facilities, you can carry a Byrna. Playgrounds and parks, you can carry a Byrna. State parks, you can carry a Byrna. Stadiums, I still wouldn't do it. Libraries, I definitely would have a Byrna, because those bookworms are scary, right? Amusement parks and museums, churches and houses of worship, definitely carry your Byrna. And of course, banks in their parking lots. Well, in the bank, I still wouldn't bring my Byrna, but in the parking lot, absolutely. Second of all private commercial property without specific permission of the owner, I don't need it. You won't need it, because you are 100% legally allowed to carry the Byrna anywhere you go in California, minus federal installations. You know, that's just a smart thing to do. So Austin, sorry to break the news to you, buddy, but you might as well take your CCW and rip it up.
Well, I'm glad I got my Byrna then.
Well, absolutely. I'm glad I've got my Byrna. And friends, I'm telling you that Byrna is the answer for the state of California. I'm Jim with Less Lethal California. You have a great day. Remember, we are here to enable, educate, and empower you. Austin, say goodbye.
Austin Wyatt, Director of Client Relations. Thank you for joining us.
See ya.